Hello everybody, hello. We are beginning our live stream today. Bitcoin at 21,600. As per usual, we usually give about a minute or two to for everyone to join, so just be patient. Right now, Bitcoin at $21,600. We're going to be talking about the recent pump and the fact that crypto may have just turned bullish again. We'll be talking about that and also altcoins in this video. So big welcome to everybody joining the stream. Let's give a minute or two for other people to join before we get into the analysis on this recent Bitcoin pump back above 21,000. And there is some very interesting news, not only with Bitcoin, but with some altcoins as well. In DeFi and overall, we really got a complete market pump, not only in crypto, as can be seen here, right? We haven't had a pump like this in about 2 weeks or so, I'd say. And that is seen also heavily for crypto stocks. Coinbase up over 11% today in the stock market. And if we're talking about just the stock market in general, also very big move of over 2% for the NASDAQ to the upside. So we're seeing some very bullish price action. And I'll go over to the daily chart here so we can see the fact that we basically found support on this little horizontal support level here at 20,200. As per usual, my drawing was completely accurate. And now we're seeing this play out with the bounce from that and potential move higher now. So we'll be talking about that in this video. Welcome everybody to the live stream. We are officially going to start the analysis now. So welcome. We're now at 8 live viewers. Say hi to the chat, everybody. We're going to get into this live and hopefully you'll enjoy your time with me here today. Now, please make sure to support the stream by leaving a like and saying hi to the chat. If you want me to see a specific message, consider dropping a super chat to support the live stream as well. And share the live stream with any of your friends on Twitter or wherever so we can beat my previous record of 50 live viewers. Now, Bitcoin here getting this bounce off its support level of about $20,200. We are coming up on some resistance here, actually literally right now at around this $21,800 level. That's a level that we've been having some trouble getting above, but this is our third time testing it, so third time's a charm. I think that now we have put in enough of a base in this area to actually attempt to move now towards this orange line, which is our 50-day moving average, currently at $25,000 almost flat, and a little bit above that, right, our next big resistance level of $25,500. That corresponds to the previous low over here, and that is a very good target area to aim for on this initial pump higher. And eventually I think this initial pump could push us all the way up to $28,000. So I am turning a bit more bullish on the market again, at the very least in the short to medium term. And if we look across the board, you do have to ask yourself the question, how much more can these cryptos drop? The risk reward in terms of not buying these coins right now is starting to not make sense anymore. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, let's take something like Polygon, for example, right? If we look at the price, we have dropped already 80%. We peaked at around 30 cents or so. But now, if you don't buy this and we basically put in the bottom, let's say, then you're missing out on literally a 10x, basically. Or I should say a little bit less now. You're missing out on basically at least a 4x probably, right? And for other coins, it may be more. If we go ahead and take a look at something like Uniswap, which I talked about a lot in these live streams, this is still down almost 90%. Well, if you're trying to wait for a lower price, let's say $2, for example, you're only getting about a 50% discount, but you're missing out on a literal potential, over 10x here. So, you need to be really careful at this point. You know, I think I have started to dollar cost average back into stocks and crypto, slowly but surely. So I'm not, you know, going in a crazy amount just yet, but I don't want to wait for this move to slip away personally. And yes, could we still see, you know, a fake out? It is absolutely possible. So you need to be really careful still, but for me personally, based on my strategy, starting to dollar cost average is indeed what makes the most sense right now, right? That's the lowest risk reward thing I can do right now. So for that reason, I have started to accumulate, and I actually like altcoins a little bit better right now. I think Ethereum could really see a big price move. We're seeing that even in the last 7 days, you know, outperforming heavily Bitcoin. I think that outperformance is going to continue from Ethereum right now. Its network is really strong still. And, you know, if we look at the DeFi Llama TVL for Ethereum, let me refresh it. This was last week. You can see we added yet another $1 billion. So we're starting to see a little bit more money come in slowly but surely into DeFi. Nothing crazy yet. However, Tron has been skyrocketing in terms of TVL, and that is most likely due to its USDD stablecoin, which I talked about a lot, which has now basically repegged. And if we look at its market cap, right, let's look at the last 30 days, it's been increasing pretty steadily, right? So Tron is getting a lot of action. There's many other altcoins out there that are seeing some bullish action, like Solana. Avalanche is now back above $20. This could really go flying. This is still my biggest altcoin holding, Avalanche. So I'm not going to get into too much detail on the altcoins, but they are looking pretty juicy right now. And I do think that beginning to dollar cost average is not a bad idea right now. That's of course just my personal opinion and not financial advice, but look at things like Sandbox, right now at $1.28, already up over 20% in the last 7 days, right? People are seeing the value here. Keep in mind, this is a coin that reached over $7, right, on this bull market, and it could go well over that in the next bull market. So this is the type of thing that I'm starting to think about. Now, for Bitcoin specifically, by the way, welcome to the 12 live viewers. Thank you so much for supporting the live stream. Consider hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already. Just going to say hi to Lineways and Blue over here, regular viewer on the stream. Blue is asking, did you see the CVX pump? Now, CVX is convex finance, and yes, I have seen the pump, and yes, I am bullish on convex finance. This is a alternative play to the Curve token itself. Very good project, very good protocol. And, you know, not yet really necessarily a blue chip DeFi altcoin, but it is kind of nearing that, I'm going to say. So this is something that I can easily see going back to the all-time highs when the market turns bullish again, which we could be seeing the first signs of that, right? As you can see right now live, right? Bitcoin is not done moving higher. So, you know, pretty much throughout today, we saw non-stop buying for crypto-related assets. Coinbase stock, you know, was up about 10% towards the end of the day, and yet it did not stop there, right? We actually ended the day even higher, up to over 11%. If we look at GBTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, look at what happened, right? We moved higher all day long, and little did everyone expect, right? End of day, we literally just pumped even more aggressively, right? So the buying pressure has actually been increasing end of day. So this is a big deal. And, you know, I've seen this being described as about an equivalent of Bitcoin being at $13,000. So this GBTC product is extremely low right now, right? We're talking basically a 5x back to the all-time highs, right? Minimum. And I just think that cryptos are hitting some type of bottom right now, to be honest. You know, is this going to last? Could we still see a flip back lower down to 10K? It is absolutely possible, right? We still have, I'll go ahead and clean up the drawings here. We still have some of these levels that do have some arbitrary, at least, gaps that could come and, you know, be tested, right? Now, one really big thing that I want to mention, please pay attention here, is these news pieces right here. Celsius repays $183 million on DeFi protocol Maker, gets back collateral, blockchain data shows. So I'll explain what this means, but basically, Celsius, which has been having huge problems and has been under pressure, had a liquidation price at around $13,000 to $14,000, right around here, right? And this would have liquidated over 22,000 Bitcoins, basically been an absolute disaster for every institution in crypto, and definitely Celsius at the very least. And now, right, through their loan repayment, which I believe Goldman Sachs may have helped them with, that hasn't been confirmed, but Goldman Sachs was in talk with them, and I do believe they may have received some funding to help pay down this debt, to save them, in other words. This has caused their liquidation price, right? They still owe $41 million in DAI, but the key thing here is their actual liquidation price has dropped now down to a $2,722 Bitcoin price. Please smash that like button for the best analysis on YouTube. You will not be seeing this type of analysis anywhere else on YouTube. And yes, I am happy to let you know that this could turn things around for crypto, right? Because Celsius, which is a major player in the game, let's go and see their token actually, is now in a basically safer area. Let's see, I'm not finding the actual coin here. There it is. So the coin has been, of course, moving higher since the peak fear. And, who knows where this thing will be heading in the coming months still. They are not out of the woods yet. There are still some risks. There are still some questions. They have basically suspended withdrawals and transactions. So this is a big deal, right? This was back about a month ago already. They have froze all transactions. And that's obviously still an issue. But as they're dealing with this debt repayment, then things could start freeing up. And now their liquidation price, right? Please keep in mind, their previous liquidation price was 13,800. I mentioned how dangerous that was. That was basically only about a 35% drop from where we're at now. At this point, right, their new liquidation price is literally all the way down to 2,700. So take a look at this, folks. This is an 87% drop from current prices. Please keep in mind, we have already dropped about 70%. And if we were to go all the way down to $2,700 on a peak low, that would be a 95% drop. Is that impossible? And this is, of course, taking from the all-time high. No, it is not impossible. Is it unlikely? Yes. Now, the one thing that worries me is if someone is really out there trying to hunt the Celsius liquidation and we see something like $2,500 per Bitcoin on an absolute peak disaster fear market crash, whatever you want to call it, right? Black swan event, then it's going to be really ugly because the new liquidation price is at levels that I don't think anyone in crypto wants to see, right? 15,000, 10,000, we can still deal with that. If we see a $2,500 Bitcoin price, then the crypto market as we know it will be dead, unfortunately, I do believe. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I just wanted to mention that as, the potential concerning scenario with their new liquidation price. But this really does put them at ridiculously lower amounts of risk, right? Their collateralization ratio is now 1,100%. So they're heavily over collateralized for the time being, but they still do have some debt. That's basically the gist of what to keep in mind here. So they're basically 10x over collateralized, right? Their holdings of those 22,000 Bitcoins are worth over $440 million. So hopefully you appreciate this more in-depth analysis because this is the type of stuff that people don't talk about, right? And we can also see here the quote, by repaying the debt, Celsius is possibly freeing up collateral BTC that can again be sold on centralized exchanges or via over-the-counter to meet creditor demands and customer withdrawals. So this can free up and ease the problems that Celsius has been seeing with that $143 million repayment that they made basically between June 1st and I believe June 5th or 6th. They've been making steady repayments. That can be seen right over here where you can see, right, they were paying down $20 million in DAI, 6.2, 50 million, 64 million, right, all the way between June 1st and June 5th, right? They've been paying this to go from being at, you know, definitely pretty high risk to very low risk now, right? But keep in mind, this is still crypto. A 95% drop from the all-time high for Bitcoin is something that could happen, right? This is crypto. We have seen Bitcoin drop 94% before from the previous high in a bear market. So please keep that in mind. With that being said, they really are doing everything to prevent that from happening. And at that point, right, the odds start decreasing. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the companies in the sector, right? People like Coinbase, Grayscale, Riot, blockchain, you know, mining companies, all of that, right? How is that affecting the crypto space right now? Because we're seeing a lot of things happen, right? So first off, who owns the most Bitcoin in 2022? I'm not going to be talking about like every detail about this, but the more interesting thing in my opinion is just to think about some of the bigger publicly owned companies out there and what have they been doing with their Bitcoins, right? And we have seen a lot of companies sell Bitcoin, right? Especially mining companies to pay off debt, etc. But on the flip side, we have companies like Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy that has not only planned to hold their Bitcoin through the adversity, but has even been buying more Bitcoin, right? And also other major companies like Tesla has not sold a single Bitcoin from what I'm aware of. They might have sold a very small amount, but I think, you know, for the most part, a lot of the bigger companies have indeed been holding their Bitcoin instead of selling it. We have a bit of a half and half scenario, right? The stronger companies are just holding it. The weaker companies are having to sell it to pay off some debt. But the key thing is that some of the bigger ones have indeed held through this panic, so to say, right? And getting into the DeFi side of things, this is indeed, you know, targeting altcoins, etc. Value locked in DeFi swells over $7 billion. Tron's TVL spikes 34%. That's a huge deal, right? Tron's DeFi TVL going up almost 35% in a bear market is a huge deal. So this is something to really keep an eye on. And we're also nearing a breakout point where anything really above $7 billion could cause a massive amount of growth in the Tron network. So please, 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 please pay attention to things like this. I'm very bullish on Tron right now, and to be honest, I probably should be buying some more of it. Of course, not financial advice. Now, Ethereum still is dominating the DeFi space with 62% of DeFi TVL going towards Ethereum, right? And that is, you know, most likely not really going to change anytime soon. It might slowly over decades go down closer to 50%, but I do believe Ethereum will always be the majority leader in terms of DeFi TVL for very big reasons. You know, every huge fund uses Ethereum, you know, Aave, etc. And they also have groundbreaking projects such as ENS, which I own a lot of, right? I don't actually own the token, but I do own a huge amount of the domain names on ENS, right? I own over 70 to 80 ENS domains. So the projects on Ethereum are second to none, right? And I have a lot of respect for other competing layer one blockchains like Tron and Avalanche being some of the better ones in my opinion. But you know, nothing will ever dethrone Ethereum at this point, right? That is I feel pretty comfortable making that call personally. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, this is sort of where we really need to keep an eye on, because at the end of the day, right, whatever Bitcoins do is going to have a big impact on the market. So really looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to give us the best idea on what's going to happen next throughout the crypto space. And that's why I always refer to these two combined with, I feel like some people don't like looking at this, but yes, you do really need to look at the stock market as well, right? Because when you see Coinbase stock, which if we look is down, you know, massive amount, over 80%. So very similar to some of our altcoins here, which is the leading crypto, basically institution as a whole in the entire world, right? well, you need to pay attention when we get an 11% price pump, and now we're starting to bottom on this as well, right? So everything is correlated here because we're seeing the same exact pattern happen with Bitcoin itself. Funny enough, though, Bitcoin from its all-time high has not dropped as much as Coinbase. So that's very similar to GBTC, but Bitcoin here is only down about 70% right now in real time, whereas as you saw, Coinbase was down over 80 to 83%. So that is why we're now seeing Coinbase go twice as much higher today as Bitcoin did, right? Bitcoin was up a little bit over 5%, and Coinbase here up over 11%. Please pay attention to things like this. This is the type of analysis you get on this channel. This is coming from someone who has years and years in the crypto space of experience. I've been around since literally 2016, even earlier than that. And that is why I really have a nice overview of the crypto space as a whole, which is why I pulled up this chart right here, right? You can see that right now we are really flipping green heavily across the board. Altcoins flying, heavy amount of strength even in the bigger cryptos. This is a big deal, right? If we go over to the monthly time frame for this, we'll look at what that looks like. We're still extremely red. So is there really a difference between altcoins and Bitcoin here? It depends. You know, everything got pretty much wrecked in the last month. That's the actual truth behind what happened. And then if we go over to the daily here, is there a difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum and the altcoins? Well, actually here, Bitcoin and Ethereum are actually performing quite well, right? We do have some altcoins that perform quite well, some a little bit more tame, but Bitcoin and Ethereum indeed shining right now and pushing the market higher as we speak. And like I said, since I started this live stream, Bitcoin has been very strong. We're seeing it push basically $21,700 here as we speak. So the buying pressure is not stopping right now, and for good reason. Why would it stop now? Of course, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, we could start to see that fear come back into play to maybe push us one last time down lower. But right now, right, since we did put in our base, I talked about this, right? Our base has now been put in, give or take. If you want to take this area right here, about 11,800 was our massive support level. We're breaking out live, you know, above that, right? And we still have our resistance here, but this is probably going to be broken within the next day or two. And then it's going to be off to the races up to 25,000, and even making an attempt up to 28,000. I will say, right, since I'm making a video where I am more bullish here, and we do have that sort of price target at 28,000 on a peak bounce, that would be a pretty much on the dot 30% bounce from where we're at currently. Okay, and at that point we could maybe flip back lower. I will say, however, there is an absolute possibility that we go a little bit higher than most people expect, right? And what would that level be? That would be about $32,000, and who knows, we could even push as high as $35,000 as well. So this range right here, I'll go ahead and draw a little triangle. You know, this range right here is sort of our target peak high on a bounce in this bear market, but give or take, right, about 30% increase. If we go higher, it would be about 50 to 60% increase for Bitcoin specifically. If we get in this range above $28,000, okay, that's going to put us between a 28K to 32 to 34K BTC range. Why is this important? Well, if we reach this range, okay, you know, this is going to be much different from just hitting 28K and then starting to weaken and staying in the range and then falling back lower, right? If instead we blast past that 28K level, maybe reach 32K, whatever, and start bouncing in this range, this could put us in a position where we might just consolidate here and then rip higher, right? And we'll never see lower levels than this basically 18K area, which was the peak bottom, right? 17K. So this is possible, you know, and we do need to consider that, because I think if we get back in this range, we're going to be in a much safer area to hold and start moving back towards the upside than if we don't manage to get above 28K. So that is the big difference there for Bitcoin. And we'll go ahead and move over to Ethereum. Let me take a second to look at our live chat, I want to say hi to everyone. We're currently reaching a peak amount of viewers on the stream. We're at 22 live viewers. Just going to say hi to some people in the chat. Make sure to drop a comment. We got Wilhelm Libnes, a regular viewer here, saying, would you expect volume on BTC to increase for a sustained move higher? Absolutely possible. If we go back to the Bitcoin chart real quick, let's take a look at how the volume has been acting throughout this move higher. Let's see, I need to go on my cleaner chart again, but it's been pretty decent basically, right? Nothing crazy, but it is starting to stay more steadily green, and we're actually on increasing volume on this breakout. So this is basically everything you want to see in a breakout like this. And if I take a look at some of the other comments in the chat, we have Athrin, welcome Athrin, regular viewer, great to see you in the stream. Iron Lux Trader now also live with us, saying smash the like button, turn on notifications. Yes indeed, if you never want to miss the best crypto live streams on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, and don't forget to turn on the bell notifications to never miss one of these live streams. Ethereum currently at 12,035, sorry, 1,235. I don't know why I keep saying 12,000 for Ethereum. Ethereum is at $1,235. We got Athern saying, in my opinion, there will be time to buy in to alts once Bitcoin will start pumping in the next bull run. And if Bitcoin drops another 8 to 10K, alts will probably dump another 50% or even more. Not to mention 80% of alts will probably never return to their old all-time highs in the next bull run. Very interesting comments from Athrin. Indeed, if you have experience, Bitcoin does tend to start initially leading the pump and then altcoins catching up to that. So if we do see more downside, it wouldn't be surprising to see altcoins, of course, see another 50% drop. But for me personally, I might start dollar cost averaging into some of the better altcoins out there. We got Iron Lux Trader sharing the live stream. Thank you so much. Please consider sharing the stream on your Twitter or on your social media with any friends you think would enjoy this live analysis. We're going to be looking now at the Ethereum chart in more detail because I'm mostly focused on Bitcoin and some other altcoin plays, but indeed DeFi leader Ethereum is really going to be the key crypto, okay, to give us an idea on where we might be heading next, right? Ethereum is truly basically, you know, the altcoin titan in the crypto space, and it's still seeing a huge amount of traction on the network itself, right? Through things like ENS and others. Ethereum still has a lot of attention, and I think NFTs might start popping up again towards the upside also. So right now, if we look at what Ethereum has been doing, very similar pattern to Bitcoin. So we basically have this, I'll go ahead and draw this like I did on the Bitcoin chart, right? We have sort of our $1,000 support level, which is our major support level. And then we're coming up on our amount of resistance here, basically on the dot to where we are now, right? We're literally just about $30 to $50 away on the spot price from getting a massive breakout. And for Ethereum, the breakout could be even sharper and even more drastic because we literally have almost no resistance from the current price level. We have a little bit of resistance at this orange line, which is going to be our first price target level. So right around $1,500, right? 20% bounce from where we are now. So not going to be hard to do for Ethereum. But really, right, we are going to be smooth sailing up to $1,700 at least. That's going to be a 38% price pump based on the current prices. And the sort of peak high scenarios for Ethereum, 2,100 for Ethereum here. This is going to be the level that we can sort of compare that to the 32K level that I drew on the BTC chart, right? And at that point, we'd get a more bullish range if we're able to reach into this between 1,700 and 2,100, 2,200, right? This is going to be the level where if we can get back in this range, we may actually see an opportunity to break out of it down the line. Of course, you know, it isn't guaranteed because just as easily in this range, we could also see a drop lower again. but it puts us more at a 50-50. If we just get back to 1700 and we start weakening, then I'd say basically over 75% chance that we start dropping lower again, trickling back down lower, and then getting that flush out down to what could be $500 to $360 for Ethereum specifically, and that would compare to the $10,000 to $6,000 price target for Bitcoin. So what I mean by that is we want to see it, right? If you're bullish on the market, or you want to see the market turn bullish again, you need to pay attention to getting back in this range right here between 1700 and 2150. And to be honest, I think there's a decent amount of chance that we do reach that level. The reason why is because the NFT space is still extremely hot. The projects on Ethereum specifically are, you know, not really dying or dead during this bear market. In fact, they're pretty steady at the very minimum. So this could really lead to Ethereum starting to see some buying pressure again. And like I said, right, throughout the crypto space, I don't see that many things right now in the short term that could push us lower again. I think we're going to get, at this point, guaranteed at the very least, at least a bit of a pump before flipping back down lower again. I don't see the scenario now where we're just going to instantly weaken and sink lower. Because we've already, like I said, we tested about 3 times for Bitcoin and about 2 times now for Ethereum, this specific resistance level. I think we're going to get this breakout. I can tell that the price is really wanting to, at the very least, test the 50-day moving average, both for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this could indeed also lead to a pretty strong pump in the altcoins as well. We'll go ahead and cover something like Avalanche to take a look at the chart on that. But right now, at the 50-day moving average, right, that is about $1,500 for Ethereum. Definitely looks like the price wants to target that level. Now let's go ahead and look at an altcoin chart just to see how it's looking in comparison. So I drew a pretty messy chart here, but we basically had a bit of a double bottom, higher low formation. And in fact, if we look at the chart, this is a great thing that I did this. Avalanche is actually, you know, showing what altcoins are doing. And what I mean by that is that they're moving in a more strong manner to even Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. So this is a huge deal, folks. Because if we look at this chart, guess what? We're literally only basically 5% away for AVAX. I'd say it's pretty much guaranteed that we test that 50-day moving average, the orange line. And I even said for AVAX, right, we're looking at a massive, without even breaking the bear market trend, we could pump a massive 120%, folks. So this is the opportunity that's available right now in the altcoin space. And I'm not talking about Ethereum. I'm really talking about some of the smaller altcoins, the better ones. You know, that is also right in line with our 100-day moving average. So yes, we could at this point see a very aggressive pump higher. We also have a monster amount of buying volume here on AVAX specifically, and I'm pretty sure many altcoins are sharing this similar pattern. We can go over to something like Matic and see if it's also acting the same, and I'm pretty sure it is. Matic actually, as we speak on this candlestick, breaking out above its 50-day moving average and now acting as you know, support. There's an uptrend building. This is extremely bullish. I mean, look at this, folks. We literally have all 3 moving averages with the Bollinger Band. So the top Bollinger Band, the lower Bollinger Band, and the middle Bollinger Band now all starting to flip higher again, right? I just want to mention, we haven't seen this basically since April of 2022, right? So we have all this amount of time where we have not been seeing these Bollinger Bands kick back towards the upside again, and now we're seeing this, and now we're extremely low, right? Please keep in mind, we have seen a monstrous 80% plus price drop, you know, basically almost a 90% price drop on the dot for many altcoins, and Matic included in this. And like I said, right, look at the risk reward now. Please think about the risk reward. I'm not saying to buy or sell any coins, right? None of this is financial advice, but take a look at this, right? Right now, you know, we say, let's say we get a little bit more of a flip back to the lows. What is that? A 30% drop. Okay. Now, we're potentially missing out on this right here, right? Almost a 500% move. And this is even more extreme on other coins out there, such as Sushi Swap, which I have been starting to accumulate again, where like I said, right? Yes, could Sushi Swap flip a little bit lower again down to 50, 60 cents? Of course, right? That's going to be about a 50% drop. However, what am I potentially missing out on? I'm potentially missing out on this, right? 1,800% gains, and that's just back to the all-time highs. If we go skyrocketing above that, right, let's say we go to 50% on the next bull market, that's going to be an over 4,000% price gain. Please keep these things in mind, folks, okay? Because the risk reward here is not making sense anymore to not start accumulating these, in my opinion, especially some of these juicier altcoins like this, right? Sushi Swap still down a massive 95%. So that is what I'm doing. I'm sharing this not to recommend anything, but I'm sharing this to tell you what I am doing with all my years of experience in the crypto space. The risk reward here isn't making sense to me anymore to just hold off, right? And of course, you know, if we want to stick to the safer things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, then we can do that. But at this point, I'm kind of you know, balancing the two, and I'm thinking, what is really riskier, right? Sushi Swap having that potential 3,000% upside, or Bitcoin, you know, getting a measly 2 to 3x, or potentially, you know, sinking back down to another 60%. Things like Bitcoin and Ethereum has not fallen as much, so lower risk reward, but also going to be more steady, going to be a bit safer. That is, you know, pretty much the forever truth in the crypto market. And now we're really starting to see this pattern being completed of the head and shoulders, and potentially what might be our first sign of a bottom. So let me know in the chat what you think about this. You know, do you think that this is really going to be the bottom, or do you think this is just a fake out? And please keep in mind, I'm not saying that the fake out is impossible, because we could get that move. Sorry for the sneeze, folks. We could get that move of 30% bounce on Bitcoin, 28K, right? Just be one big bait to flush out people and then flip back lower, begin mass liquidations again. That can happen, right? And that's why also the risk reward is a little bit better on altcoins here, in my opinion, because if we get this move, right, higher for altcoins, what does that move represent, right? That represents like a massive 100% plus move for things like Avalanche. For Bitcoin, we're only getting a 30% bounce, and then we're flipping lower again. So that is what worries me a little bit with Bitcoin, and even in a second time Ethereum. I think Bitcoin, you know, don't get me wrong, I love Bitcoin long term. I think Bitcoin is reaching $1 million, but right now it almost is riskier, I'd say, to buy something like Bitcoin at these levels, just because Bitcoin still has that trap door open to potentially sink lower. For altcoins, that rock bottom price level is already reached or nearly reached, right? Like I said, altcoins could only fall another 50% or so, while Bitcoin could easily sink, you know, 30 to even 60% here. So this could happen quite easily for Bitcoin, whereas altcoins are almost more shielded due to them being already so such a cheap prices. Now, let me take a second to read your chats here. We got a lot of people in the chat. Thank you so much for the support. We've got Moonriver 100x from here. I talked about Moonriver. I'm very bullish on it indeed. We've got a new viewer here, stacking 9mm, back under 20K by the end of the month, likely sooner, just the usual scalp pump. So he's basically, you know, assuming that the market is still in a euphoria, or basically this bounce is still a bit of a euphoria, and that it's going to sink back below 20K again, which, like I said, is indeed possible. We got ABSC saying 20,600 first, then 19.8K, so potentially he's talking about a little bit of consolidation right around this 21 to 20K level. I've got Atherin saying yes, but also look at the bigger alts from previous bull runs like IOTA, XRP, Lisk. They never returned to their old all-time highs, and that's a very, very good point. In fact, I'm literally going to pull up a price chart of Lisk, because I do remember this coin like if it was yesterday. Lisk was an extremely bullish altcoin back in the day, okay? Many of you may have never heard of this coin and were not around back in the day to witness its price move, right? But this is a coin that had a massive pump, but never, ever, ever went anything near there, right? It's basically been a dead coin since. And there's a huge amount of coins that are similar to that. So please, please, please keep that in mind, right? With altcoins, you really need to know what you're owning. You need to make sure that these things are valuable projects because they do not have a floor price, right? Many altcoins will fall to sub pennies and never return to their previous glory, right? And we're actually seeing that live with coins like Terra Luna. Okay, I think Terra Luna is gonna be forever a dead coin with random pumps, but basically dead weight and something that will never have really any tangible value, will remain below sub pennies. And this is what you really need to be careful of, right? 100% price drop, basically. These things are never to return to their previous glory, in my opinion, for Luna here, and we've literally seen it before. Now, we have the better altcoins, right? We've got things like BNB. BNB is an altcoin that performed very well over time. We have things like even XRP. Now, this one is a little bit more of a, an up and down altcoin, but still not bad. And then, of course, we have some that have managed to break the trend of destruction. But still, altcoins are riskier. You saw it on these price charts, right? Those were, what could be considered some pretty concerning price charts. In the long term, if we look at things like Chainlink over here, let's look at Chainlink. Chainlink still has a decently nice uptrend going on, right? But look at charts like Bitcoin and Ethereum. You're quickly going to see the difference here in terms of, yes, it did seem like I was bashing a little bit Bitcoin and Ethereum, but look at the Bitcoin chart, right? Bitcoin is still literally holding its uptrend, and if we go over to Ethereum, it's going to be a similar story, right? These are much more price charts similar to, I'm not going to say Apple, but the crypto equivalent of, what would be stocks, right? So much more steady, sturdy price charts than some of those altcoins. So look at the price chart of Ethereum, right? Look at how it moves. And now let's go ahead and take a look at XRP, which is one of the stronger altcoins, if anything. But look at how sharp the drops are, right? Look at how sharp this drop was back in 2018. This $3 price level did not hold whatsoever, right? It literally sunk like a rock. So this is what you need to be careful of with altcoins. And like I said, right, that was just an example of an altcoin that, so to say, did pretty well. We've got things like Luna, which, basically got smoked. So Cardano over here, pretty interesting coin that I sort of a bit hate now because it was my biggest crypto mistake ever, but nonetheless, look at its chart, right? This is a coin that actually managed to break its previous all-time high from the 2018 bull run, put a new high right above $3, and now is, of course, on a consolidation, but still, we need to give credit where credit's due, right? It broke its previous high. So similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, it broke their previous highs. We have other altcoins which did not manage to break their previous all-time highs. So these are coins that, performed well. Things like Bitcoin Cash did get a second pump, but they didn't manage to break above their previous all-time highs. So all these little signs give you a hint in how these coins perform. And also may give us a hint to how they may perform moving forward. But I like the strength that Bitcoin is showing here. I like the fact that we're very steady at this $21,600 level. On my previous live stream, I was on vacation for a week, but on my previous live stream, I said that getting back above 21K would be very bullish. And indeed, we did get back above it. And indeed, we're now basically nearing a breakout, and we're already breaking out on altcoins, and Ethereum is just about to get its breakout even sooner than Bitcoin. So yes, right now that bullishness is coming back into play, and I just want to give a massive round of applause to our 33 live viewers. Thank you so much for the support. We have literally been steady this stream, right? No fluctuation. All of you supporting me and watching this live stream for the best crypto analysis live on YouTube. I'm going to be adding animations to the stream and a whole bunch of stuff. And please consider dropping a super chat to support the live stream. Doing this YouTube channel is my full-time job, so any of your support with super chats or however, like, subscribe, is greatly appreciated to support this channel and for me to keep continuously giving you the best analysis on YouTube. If we move over to the weekly time frame here, we're going to be looking at what Bitcoin is doing, but I just want to mention that yes, indeed, back here, right, 2016, 2017, you know, I was making videos all the way through the massive bull run, even through the drop, in the consolidation, and even till this day, right? I've been making these YouTube videos, and I haven't left, right? Like many other YouTubers who have either disappeared, who have gone hiding in the bushes as the market drops, right? There are so many YouTubers that I remember from this previous bull run who, when it dropped and entered the crypto winter, they disappeared, never to return again, right? Some did return, but many never returned. And guess what? They missed out on this massive move. I was there with all of you for it. And now, right, on this drop, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep giving you the best analysis on YouTube and stay right there in the trenches, weathering the storm with all of you as well. So we are seeing a lot of huge sell candles in recent weeks. Now, this could be flushing out the crypto market, which is good, right? Because at one point we will reach that rock bottom, but I did want to point that out. We're starting to see a little bit of buying volume come in. And these candles look really good. The buying volume isn't as strong as I'd like it to be just yet, but if we get a breakout above 22,000, we're likely going to see a huge increase in buying volume. So pay attention to that, because that could also be a sign that this breakout may be something stronger, like we had, you know, back here, right, where we had that big sell volume, but we also had a massive amount of sustained buying volume in the previous weeks. I am on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, and we're looking at the weekly candles here. So the big thing that I want to mention is we have put in a bit of a wick, and we're now starting to stabilize. Now, we did this back here, it didn't last, right? We fell another massive, let's calculate exactly basically the drop. From there, we fell another 40%. Could this happen again? Yes, it could, right? Keep in mind, that would be right in line with one of my targets of about 14K. But will this happen again is the question. And on this specific consolidation, right, which is basically our second consolidation since the drop started accelerating. So this was our number one consolidation. Let me literally draw that out. And then we have our second consolidation, right, which we're in right now. So will this second consolidation last and cause a move higher? Why would it might? Why would it might not? So if we look at some of the differences, right, because there definitely are some. First off, we can count the candles, which are currently at pretty similar level. So we had our number one candle here, which is our biggest drop candle, right? And then we had 1, 2, 3, and then we got our breakdown. Here we have our one biggest drop candle. We have 1, 2, 3, right? So right now we're basically in line with what we had right here before the breakdown. But guess what, right? You know how crypto likes to act. You know how crypto likes to flip around. Would it not be perfect irony for this fourth candle, right? Instead of getting another move lower, which could happen. So don't say that I didn't say that it can't happen. It can happen. But I think that the more unlikely thing for many people who might be shorting now is that they get a rip in their face and get liquidated, right? And that could cause the prompt to move, like I said, up to 28K or more. So the reason why I'm pointing this out so specifically is because the differences in terms of the candles here is on our third candle. Please keep in mind, this candle has not closed yet, but it is nearing the closure. And look at where we are, right? We're super strong, pushing up to the limit of our breakout, up to the highs of the candle. That is a huge drastic difference to our third day candle here after the drop for the previous number one consolidation that I'm talking about. Leave a like for the most detailed technical analysis on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on those bell notifications, and don't miss these amazing live streams. Guess what? This candle was the exact opposite of what we're having here, right? This candle was a hammer candlestick. This is a bearish candlestick formation where we can see that the price did not hold. That's why we have this big wick over here. Basically, I'll go ahead and clean up the chart real quick, signaling that the price was not able to hold and it had to fall back lower. Here, we're getting the opposite of this, where not only is our wick a little bit to the downside, but if anything, we have a huge green body candlestick, which is basically signaling the breakout, right? Nearing the breakout, I should say. Also going to point out on the weekly time frame, our middle Bollinger Band is right in line with the 33K level, which we talked about, right? So I would say that now, based on what I'm seeing on the charts with my current analysis, we indeed have the potential opportunity for a move up to 33K. I would place the percentage of likeliness a little bit over 60% now. So I think it's a little bit more likely than not that we do actually break above the 28K level instead of just hitting that and it acting as resistance. So expect a little bit more strength and a little bit more consolidation than most people expected at this point in time for crypto. Keep in mind, this could all play out in the next few days, but it may take about a full month to play out or so. So it's not going to necessarily happen overnight, but we are seeing the first signs towards that. And yes, the initial pump up to 25K could happen pretty quickly in a matter of days or in a matter of a week or two. The chat is going absolutely crazy. I can literally barely keep up with y'all. Thank you so much for the massive amount of support. If you want me to specifically see any of your comments, consider dropping a super chat. This helps support the stream and allows me to continue to give you all the best analysis on YouTube. We have many people here mentioning some altcoins, but also some people, you know, kind of staying away from altcoins due to the risk that they bring, it seems like. Stacking is saying, congrats, brother. Love your channel. Great work. I appreciate it. We've got Believer777 saying big ups. He likes the stream. We've got a lot of new viewers here. That's amazing. I want to know if you're a new viewer and you're watching this live, such as Stacking and Believer and Jude Martin. Is this your first time watching the stream? We also got Rohit Gondala asking to see the 15-minute chart for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Your wish is my command. I will go ahead and take a look at that right now. We're going to go and take a look at the shorter time frames. Many of you ask me for this usually at some point in the stream, especially towards the end, because I don't usually cover it in the beginning, the shorter time frame charts for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so we're going to be taking a look at this right now live. So let me just catch up with a few more comments, and then we're going to be diving into the short-term, ultra short-term 15-minute time frame, which is really what's going to dictate the next day to 3 days of movement for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to be looking at both those in just a second. Huge thank you to all the support, right? You are really all showering me with support, and if you want to support me even more, I would appreciate so much a super chat of any amount. Let's see, we have ABSC saying there's not enough buying pressure, just whales playing with price. That is possible. You know, if we look at this current range that we're in, right, which I'll be diving into on the 15-minute chart time frame, right, there are some matters of concern. There is also the potential opportunity for a breakout, but we need to be really careful because I've seen these patterns before, and we're at the top of the range, which could just as easily as it could be a massive breakout, right? It could just be another top, just pushing us towards more consolidation in the range. So you need to be really, really knowledgeable on this because it can be quite tempting. You know, if in fact you're waiting for a safer buy, it would be smarter to wait for the breakout above 22K than to buy now and potentially eat some consolidation. So that's just something to keep in mind here. Now we have Stacking saying not enough retail money to create enough pressure in the overall market. Just CZ, market makers, Chinese whales that are manipulating the market. We have another couple interestings. We have ABSC, not enough reason to have a really powerful bear market rally to 25 to 28K. I don't think it needs a reason per se, right? I think just based on the price levels, the fact that we have put in the consolidation and that stocks are turning pretty green again, it could be enough to push us back towards those higher levels of 25 to 28K. Keep in mind, you don't need a reason for anything in the crypto space to happen, right? There was not a specific reason why we all of a sudden started tanking from 60K. It was more just that is when people started realizing we're kind of high right now, maybe it's time to sell, and then it created a spiral effect. And certainly manipulation both to the upside and the downside is very common in the crypto markets. I never keep track of the amount of time that I'm doing these streams for, so please let me know how long have I been doing this live stream. Let me know in the chat below. And don't forget, Rohit, I have not forgotten you. We're going to be talking about this 15-minute chart frame for Bitcoin and Ethereum in just a second. We have Cody is right. Welcome, Cody, regular viewer. Missed the last few streams. Good to see you're still at it. Yes, I am. These streams will literally become the best crypto streams on YouTube. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have live animations. I'm going to really up the production quality to make these into the most enjoyable streams out there. And we already hit a huge amount of viewers live. I don't think I've ever gotten as many comments on a stream before, so that's amazing. Please let me know if this is the first time you've been watching these streams. Let me know in the comments down below and say hi to everybody. I'll give you a little shout out. We have Stacking saying he's been watching me since 2018. I think he's a long-term follower and supporter. Excellent and logical analysis. Thank you so much for the support. Now, we also have Stacking mentioning some very interesting price action with gas prices that are cooling off temporarily. Gas is still crazy high, along with food and essentials. Also, retail people don't have extra funds to throw at the market. I think it's just a reaction balance that will cool off. That's why I don't necessarily think, you know, even if we reach these higher ranges, even if we go up to 33K, I don't necessarily think it's going to hold because of the global macro environment. However, it would still be nice to see at least it reach those levels to potentially drop less to the downside thereafter. That's also something to keep in mind. Now, on the 15-minute chart frame, starting with Bitcoin, we're looking at the short-term 15-minute chart, and we're going to be talking about what's happening. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. This will give you a better picture. We now enter this range, right? And I'll give you a little bit of a in-depth analysis here. In terms of price action, right? How do things tend to act? Well, look at what happened, right? We had our peak panic right here, right? This was the mega drop. This is what pushed us initially back below $20,000. So initially, right, while we still were recovering from the drop, we had extreme volatility, right? That's when we got our peak drop to the downside. And we also put in this little top over here around 23K. Now, since then, right, the volatility has decreased. Would that be expected? Absolutely. Makes total sense, right? The peak volatility is going to be during the time of panic. This time of panic has started to disappear. We're now starting to slow down the pace and enter this range. We got a little bit of this bullish spike here, this bullish action. Now we're going to see, is this going to hold, or is this going to just send us back in the range? Please keep in mind, historically, Bitcoin does like to trade for quite a long time once it reaches these range-bound levels. So it wouldn't be surprising whatsoever to flip back lower and begin consolidating again, right? Very possible, very likely, based on historical action. Now, if we move over to, you know, the daily time frame or so, that's when I see the bullishness starting to come into play. But please keep in mind that it could take longer than we expect to get that breakout. If we look really closely to the most recent candles on this pump, I unfortunately have to say, at least for Bitcoin, we'll see if Ethereum gives us a little bit extra details. Now, first off, there's a couple of concerning things. We didn't break the previous high here. So this is actually if we don't press above 21,900, this is actually going to be a lower high formation, which could absolutely be a little bit of a hint that we may flip back lower in the range. With that being said, right, we haven't actually literally flipped lower just yet, so I can't make that call, unfortunately. You'll have to wait till the next live stream probably for me to really be able to tell what's going to happen. But right now, right, we're basically in this pump. Okay, so we have this this big spike higher where all these moving averages are also moving higher, and then as you can see, so in this move, right, we're increasing the momentum towards the upside, which is good. We have our first bit of consolidation and now our secondary bit of consolidation, right? It's starting to tighten, which could be a hint that we may flip back lower in the range, but it's not done yet. Like I said, right, literally in a matter of the next 2 to 4 hours, we could actually get this breakout, right? Or at least put in a higher high. So this is not, you know, a weekend yet is what I'm trying to say, right? In fact, we are still fully in the pump mode. In fact, as much as there were a couple bearish hints there, if we look at the bottom formation of these two consolidations, right? Once again, consolidation 1, consolidation 2. It's the same thing as before, just towards the upside. This consolidation had a higher low, then we pumped higher, so we kind of double bottomed here. On this formation, it was actually even more bullish, where we're literally still uptrending right now in the formation, right? So a lot of strength right now still can be seen for Bitcoin. Still got to see in the next few hours how that plays out, if we get that reversal or if we actually end up ripping above 22K, or even pushing a little bit above 22K would put in that higher high and would still be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. We're going to move over now to the 15-minute time frame for Ethereum and look at what's happening. So I'm going to do something pretty similar here just to make it neat and clean, and hopefully you appreciate this amazing analysis. Subscribe, like, and turn on those bell notifications to never miss one of these live streams. So let me go ahead and clean up the chart here. We're going to draw these rectangles to show you the range we're in and how it might be playing out in the next few days. Huge thank you to our live 30 viewers. So steady today. Really do appreciate it. Just catching up on some of the comments here. We got JM Sohel Rana saying first time he just subscribed. Hello everyone. I promise to shout you out if you're a first timer, and here I am doing it. Welcome Sohel to the live stream and to the channel. We have Stacking saying nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging. Totally agree. ABSC, those market maker pumps are also always short-lived these times. It has been true in the recent weeks indeed. BTC daily looks like an Adam and Eve pattern aiming for 25k. Very, very interesting. I mentioned the Adam and Eve pattern for the potential, drop back lower. And so he is mentioning that for a potential move towards the upside. So right now I literally can't keep up with all these comments, guys. There are so many today. Thank you so much. If you want me to make sure to see one of your comments, drop a super chat because you guys are spamming the chat like crazy, which I love, but it makes it really hard for me to keep up with everything that's going on. But yes, if you have any specific analysis you want me to do or any specific comment you would like me to see, drop a super chat. That will guarantee me seeing your comment, and I would love the support as well. We also have Jude Martin saying it's Friday, maybe more sellers will come to get money, weekend is coming. Also interesting analysis there. Also, we had a extended weekend here for July 4th, and we didn't see a actual flush out, right? We actually saw the market hold and start pumping higher. So I really think there's about an 80% plus chance that we get the breakout within the next 5 days at the most. For Ethereum specifically, mention a few things. We have these interesting bits of huge buying volume here that can be seen throughout this consolidation, right? How meaningful is that really? Who knows, but that could be a sign of some whale accumulation. And the pattern is definitely looking like it. Now, still, like I said, right, we're just now coming up on the resistance. We haven't put in a higher high, but we're not done yet, right? Unless we flip back lower towards at least the halfway range, probably, then we are still fully in bullish mode where we could at any point get that move higher. That could happen in a matter of hour or a few days at this point in time. But very similar pattern to Bitcoin, very strong as well. And also, like I said, right, really we're approximately at about an 80% chance here at getting that next big pump higher, which could be absolutely a logical time for a lot of people to get caught as well to the upside. So we're gonna get that move higher, I think, to 1700, could be even a little bit higher up towards 2000. But be careful, because that doesn't mean that we won't flip back lower again. However, like I said, right, I'm going to go back to the daily time frame. If we do get those moves higher up to the higher levels, right, so call it 1700 to 2100, right, if we get those moves higher, it makes it a little bit less likely to go all the way back down again. But this is impossible to say for sure, because we don't know exactly how this bear market is going to play out. Because I wouldn't say it's the end of the bear market. I do think this is a potential bottom area, but is it the end of the bear market just yet? I don't think so, right? We're going to need to see something pretty drastic, like a move above $2,200 that holds, right? This would be a move above this level right here for Bitcoin to be bullish again. And if we go over to Bitcoin, we're going to need to see some pretty high price levels as well to confirm a breakout and really a return to full bullishness in the market. Yes, I do think we're turning bullish again right now in the short term, but are we bullish again as a whole? Not yet, right? Not yet, because at the bare minimum, we need to break above and hold 35k. But for Bitcoin, keep in mind, Bitcoin does tend to really impress with its strength, who knows how high we need to see. We would potentially really have to break above 50K to start really feeling more certain that we could break the previous all-time high. So you need to be careful, especially with the bigger coins. It's easy to see their strength and to think that we're going to flip right back towards the upside because they're stronger, right, at their base level, but that doesn't mean that we're actually going to really flip into full bullishness just yet. We have Blue going to bed from the UK. Thank you for watching the stream as always, Blue. We have Sohel Rana saying 21,700 golden resistance for 4-hour candle on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the 4-hour candle. Please, folks, let me know how long the stream has been going on. I haven't been keeping track of the time. Please, please, please leave a comment right now in the chat below. Oh, we have a super nice comment here from Stacking, which said that, you know, people need money, fiat for basic life stuff. He's talking about the market, but also thanking me for the great analysis. He's saying that that's why he watches me first, any other channel. He doesn't really watch anybody else anymore. I appreciate if you're going to give your time to watch any channel. If it's mine, that means so much to me. And any extra support on top of that through super chats or whatever else is just so appreciated. Thank you so much, everybody. Going back to JM Sohel Rana's comment here, the 21,700 golden resistance, which is basically, right, look at the price, what we're dealing with now, right? That's this level right here, basically, on the 4-hour chart. It's even more clean on the 4-hour chart. This is the best medium-term time frame indicator for those who are wondering. And by the way, I do have a technical analysis master course where I talk about chart time frames, candlesticks, everything you need to know. It has a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it's less than $20. You're not going to find any other course like this for technical analysis at such a cheap price. Has over 15 video lessons, and you can find that in the description below. So link to that in the description of this video. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is because, yes, the 4-hour time frame is probably one of the best medium-term time frames. It's just so much more clear here how this is playing out. We're seeing this resistance at that $21,700-ish level. And he says that if this candle ends below 21,700, right, which is the candle that we're currently on, then basically saying we could flip back lower. But otherwise, we could get that move to 22,300, 22,700, which is in line with that 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart time frame. And it's also in line, look at that, folks, it's also in line with our previous highs right there during the drop. Huge thank you for that amazing comment from Sohel Rana. Great eye there. I had not spotted that myself, but that is yet another indication of where we might be heading, more specifically in the next day or so, or a few days, if we get a breakout. So look at that area right there around $22,800 to $23,000. Very key price level there. Great comment from one of our viewers. This is the advantage of watching these live streams with all of us, is we're a supportive community where, you know, I will never consider myself better than anybody else. So I read all the comments, I try to at least, and if I see, you know, some other smart viewers in the stream, such as most of you from what I've seen are quite experienced in the crypto space, you know, I will go ahead and mention it and share that analysis with you, right? So we are really combining our strength here with this live stream. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for that. You are even talking to each other in the chat, which is amazing. We have this live stream that has been going on for over an hour, and we're currently reaching almost a peak amount of viewers, 33 live viewers. Let me go ahead and take a look at Ethereum as well on the 4-hour time frame. Now, really interesting stuff going on there for Ethereum. First off, we're really close on the Ethereum chart for our 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. So Bitcoin was quite close as well, but here we're literally only about a 3% price move towards that 200-day moving average line, which would be our initial, you know, in the next few days price target. But we could very well start ripping much higher than that, up to $1,400, $1,500 in the following days thereafter. Also, right now on the 4-hour chart on Ethereum, we can see something that is key that we've been wanting to see since this drop has begun, right? Which is the flattening out of the price, which we have now seen. But more importantly, we have our indicators all pushing up higher again, and that is combined with this right here, folks. massive green buying volume candles and increasing volume as well, right? One after the other is bigger. This candle has still yet to be determined what's going to happen, but right now this is indeed a very bullish sign, right? If we get a big green buying volume candle on the breakout, we're really probably going to see those higher price levels come about in the following weeks. And we're literally reaching peak amount of viewers right now, an hour into the stream. Huge thank you to everybody. We have Believer777 saying ETH target $1,500. Hit the thumbs up. Yes, indeed. Please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, everybody. I will now be taking time to answer any of your comments. If you want me to do an analysis, drop a super chat or drop a comment. I will be answering any of your questions regarding Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other altcoin out there in existence. Let me know in the comments below right now live, and I will go ahead and try and get around to doing that analysis. We have seen the bullishness come back in for DeFi, Ethereum, and altcoins like Tron and Avalanche, and we're also seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum see heavy strength right now in the last day, really starting to flip back higher. And in fact, we are actually at a high in terms of price as well. Since the beginning of the stream, I do believe we're literally pushing the $21,700 level right now live, folks. Could we see this breakout happen in the next few hours? Absolutely. This could be a crazy move that could push us all the way up to $23,000 literally in a matter of just the next few hours ahead. Let's not end the stream just yet since it's getting so hot. I'll be tracking with this live with all of you, and also we are above our upper Bollinger Band on the 4-hour time frame, which could lead some to believe, oh, we're going to flip back lower again. But this is also a very typical sign of strength and breakout for Bitcoin. So we could trail along this Bollinger Band as we reach that initial $23K price target, and that's only halfway towards really our initial price target, which would be about 24 to 25K. So just want to take a second to look at all your comments on the live stream. This is the time for you to ask me any questions in regard to Bitcoin, Ethereum, on any time frame that you would like me to analyze, or any other altcoin in the market. Please don't be shy. Let me know in the comments below. If you want me to mention anything about stocks, macro analysis on the markets, this is your time. This is the Ask Me Anything moment, question and answers of the live stream. Anything you want me to give you my opinion on, I will gladly do it. So let me know in the comments below. We had our first person ask about Zilliqa, which is a very interesting metaverse altcoin now. How is it performing? Well, it is very range bound there, Cody. We are starting to see retest of these highs, and in fact this one was our highest retest yet. So it is bullish, it is turning bullish, it is showing some of the signs that we're seeing with Ethereum more specifically, and yes, we could get a move higher. It's still very range bound overall, right, in this bigger range, so I wouldn't expect it to necessarily get a breakout much bigger for the time being, but we could be heading higher towards 5 cents or so, or even 6 cents in the next few days, maybe the next 2 weeks or so. Let's see, we have Stacking saying market makers in control from now until momentum slows and back down. In my opinion, we'll see. I remain skeptical. I think we'll roll over back down towards before 22,800 or sooner. So basically what Stacking is saying here is he's thinking that we may get a flip back lower before we get that full clean move higher. It is possible, but right now we do have to keep in mind the strength is there, right? We're above the upper Bollinger Band, which in this scenario I'm going to consider bullish. We have that lower wick, which is signaling extreme buying pressure even at these higher prices, and we're right about to break out. So right now I still think that we have a good chance of moving higher, actually. Where would you short BTC on the 13-minute time frame? Please be careful of that. Shorting Bitcoin is extremely risky, and I have gotten many times before the strength in the bigger coins such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, let me go on a cleaner chart, always tends to surprise. With that being said, if I'm looking at the time frame here, you know, initial entry position, if you're trading short term, please remember this is not financial advice. We are already at the top of the range, so you know, it would basically be now or you would wait a little bit more to see if it breaks out and then enter some type of position on a little bit of a breakout for a flip back lower. But I would say that would be extremely risky. I would not be touching that personally, and in fact I think really we're gonna see a breakout here. We could even see it start to break out by the end of this live stream. So I would say you know, I'd be extremely cautious personally with that type of position. Now we also have Believers 777 saying on the flip side, BTC gonna fly, no sell pressure today. Well, that seems true, right? That's kind of what I'm saying, is right now we're not really seeing any bearish signs. In fact, pretty much on all fronts, from the moving averages to the Bollinger Bands to the volume, everything is pointing towards us pushing now higher above 22,000. So be very careful. Right now in the shorter to medium term with bearishness, we have already gotten our flush out, right? We've already gotten our drop. Now, if anything, is the most likely time to get a short to medium term bounce than at any point in the last literally 2 to 3 months. Okay, so really be careful here, because we've already dropped 90% or so on altcoins. That's what I was talking about before. That's why I'm starting to dollar cost average. Is this really the time to be shorting? You know, we already got our 50% plus drop in a matter of weeks. Rohit Gondale saying, I want to enter now. This is kind of what I'm doing personally. You know, I'm beginning, I had already begun very slowly dollar cost average, and I'm going to continue to slowly dollar cost average here as we are at such low price levels. The risk reward makes sense to me. I don't mind eating another 50% drop if that's what's going to happen, because I don't want to miss out on potential 10, 20, 30x that can be seen on some of these major altcoins out there. Okay, we have altcoins like Avalanche, you know, that could probably be a 10x on the next bull wave. Now I'm maybe being biased because I do hold a lot of Avalanche, but right now at $20 I have not reaccumulated, but that's a 600% move back to the all-time high on a tier 1 AAA altcoin, basically, right? Layer 1 altcoin. Just my opinion, not financial advice. I am continuing to answer comments here. We're taking this time in the stream to basically look at what's happening right now live. Let's go back to the shorter time frames. We're getting a breakout above 21,700, and I'm actually going to make a call right now live on the stream that we're going to see a huge breakout here by the end of the stream. In fact, if we look at the time frame on the 5-minute chart, right, we have now built a full cup pattern. And, you know, we have the previous high, which we still need to break above. That's at $21,830, give or take. But the reason why this is so key is because of the formation that we're seeing, right? Typically, if this was really a overbought moment, you know, we would have sharply fell back lower to at least 21,200. Guess what? We saw nowhere near that. In fact, we barely fell as low as 21,500 before starting to initially re-begin pumping. And now we have all of our indicators turning bullish. We have that volume ramping up right now live on the 5-minute time frame. We have all our moving averages from on the Bollinger Bands and on these moving averages here that are moving higher towards the upside, pointing towards a massive breakout. Yes, we're still seeing a little bit of struggle, but I think literally by the end of this live stream or very shortly thereafter, we will be testing this level and probably getting a huge breakout above $22,000. I think by tomorrow or the next day, we could be at 22,800 easily. Okay, and then it's going to start our march up towards 24, 25, and eventually 28, potentially even higher than that, but definitely at least 28k for a price target there. Hopefully you enjoyed this analysis, and please like and subscribe if you do. I'm going to keep doing these live streams as often as possible. Is there a chart which shows all leveraged longs versus leveraged shorts in the market? Please let Jean-Claude know here if that is indeed possible. And I'd love to see that chart as well. So let him know and let myself know in the comments down below. We have Believer 777. I'm answering all your questions. If you want me to check out any coins, any analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, please let me know. Now is your time before I end the stream. We have Westy West saying, do you think Gala has a good future? I talked about Gala before on the stream. We'll go ahead and quickly pull up the chart here, see how it's acting. I'm not going to talk years out, but even just in the shorter term here, how is it acting? Is it starting to turn bullish again? It's fully built in a base, and I think we're going to get a run towards that, at least that orange line. I'd say be careful with a coin like this, right? It is still a newer coin where we don't know, is it going to really go back to its all-time highs on the next bull run? It could. It would be a massive price move if it did, but it's not certain yet because this is a more niche coin, right? It isn't a layer 1 altcoin blockchain. It's a gaming metaverse coin that has a lot of competition. It is a pretty strong one in that space, but please keep in mind those risks. Aave, extremely bullish on Aave. I've talked about this before. If I had unlimited money, this is probably a coin that I'd absolutely be buying right now. It's around $60 to $70 at current prices. And keep in mind where its previous all-time high is. Aave is a protocol that has not, been out of popularity, right? It's still one of the most popular protocols ever in the crypto space. 800% plus move back to the all-time highs. In fact, I want to take a look at this right now. Aave, top free DeFi protocol on the Ethereum blockchain, 7-day change in terms of volume. 22% has $5 billion in total value locked. If we go ahead and look at the market cap, we're at below $1 billion. That's a massive discrepancy of over 5x there. And basically, that could mean about a 5x in terms of price here. So this could easily push us back towards above $350. And in terms of the protocol itself, right, it seems like they split these, but if we take the main one here, let's see how it's kind of moving. Still overall quite steady, right? So please keep that in mind. Massive amount of total value locked across other chains as well, right? We can see that we are indeed at a massive $7.5 billion locked. This is a protocol that had over 30 billions in TVL at the peak of the bull market. Absolutely amazing project. I'd keep an eye on this one because I think it's going to start flying again. I think we're not supposed to be seeing Aave at $70. Okay, that's what I've been trying to tell everyone with this analysis, right? 90% drop. How much more are we really going to fall, right? Could it go to 50 bucks, even 30 bucks? Yes, but is it worth missing out on this, folks? This is what I'm trying to say, right? Getting that little drop lower or missing out on this right here. That's a decision that you have to make. I never give financial advice on this channel. But what I'm seeing on the chart there is an 800% plus move on probably the number top 3 AAA blue chip DeFi protocols. And this is what we're seeing. This is the opportunity that's being given to us right now. And hopefully you find this valuable of analysis because I've been doing this for years and I love sharing my thoughts with all of you. That's why I have this YouTube channel. Let's see. We have a lot of people waiting for BTC to retrace or saying it might not break out. That's the problem, is it's probably going to break out exactly because of that reason, right? A lot of people are really waiting for those absolute fire sale prices when we're basically already there. Yes, we could see it flip back lower and get even cheaper prices, but you're already at the fire sale prices. And I'm not going to be more greedy and wait for lower prices. I'm going to start dollar cost averaging, me personally. We have Jude Martin saying, love this stream. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for your support. I would love to get a super chat to end off the stream, so please consider that. If you want to support the channel, I'll make sure to read the comment, give you a shout out. We have Believer777 saying daily candle closes soon in 1.5 hours, break above 21.8K, confirms more upside on the next daily candle. Let's go over to Bitcoin. By the way, I don't know if it's a setting that I removed on TradingView or what it might be, but please let me know in the comments down below. Where do I see the end of the closing candle? Right there. Right there. I always manage to be blind to this, but right here we can see the amount of time left towards the end of the candlestick close. We have an hour and 30 minutes basically, and we're basically stronger than ever on this candle. So we are still looking extremely strong right now for Bitcoin and the rest of the market. We have Atherin saying, I would wait for a break above 22K, then retrace to get into a long. It is possible, right? The reason why I started now is because when we get these price pumps, if we go back over towards the 4-hour candle, we tend to really not just, go to 22K, 200. We tend to literally rip all the way towards like 23,000, and really probably in the matter of the next day or two rip towards 25k, and then you missed out on that entire move if you waited. That's why you need to be careful. Adam Agox says thanks. He loved the Aave analysis. Let me know, Adam, if you're a new viewer on the live stream. We have Way saying thank you so much. ABSC saying, does BTC have completed the Adam and Eve pattern? Yes, it has. I am not too familiar with the Adam and Eve pattern, but this pattern right here was basically this pattern over here where we got our breakdown, right? But now that pattern is you know, done or canceled, I should say, because we reached the bottom and we now are back above that previous neckline, breaking out higher. This is just yet another of a sign that I think we're going to get a bit of a breakout coming soon here in the next few weeks for Bitcoin. But yes, this initial pattern of the Adam and Eve and a potential move to sink lower is, as of right now, completely canceled, right? That would be another pattern playing out there forward, but that pattern is done. We actually completed it, right? Reached the level of 18,600 and are now actually moving back towards the upside from that pattern. So, oh, we have Adam saying first time here. That's awesome. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications to never miss one of these live streams. Also, don't forget to consider my technical analysis master course. If you want to learn technical analysis, 30-day money back guarantee. You've got nothing to lose by giving it a try. We have over 236 students with great ratings on the course, and it's less than 20 bucks. And also, link in the description to my Twitter. Make sure to follow me there as well. I will leave a link to the description to my Twitter, and you can go ahead and click on there now. Go ahead, follow me, and we can literally look at if we have any new followers here. It looks like we have one of you potentially who's a new follower. So I like to keep this open just so you can see yourself. Follow me live on Twitter. Link in the description to that. Link in the description to my master course. We're going to be taking one last look at the price. A little bit of weakening. Keep in mind what I said, right? I'll go over to the 15-minute price frame. Talk about what we're seeing. We're currently, you know, let me draw this out here. I need to pull out a very specific tool. Where is it? I get always lost with all these indicators here. I want to find the cup pattern, which give me a second as I search towards this, so I can draw this more neatly and not just draw it manually. But if I'm you know, not finding it once again, I'll just go ahead and draw it myself. And yes, of course, I'm not able to find it, but basically, right, this little cup that I drew right here, if this does not hold within the next few hours, let's say 3 to 4 hours, let's say, you know, yeah, the next 6 to 12 hours, right? If we get a breakdown below this, could mean that we're going to fall back lower in the range and just stay range bound. However, if we're staying above this 21,500, right, we're really likely going to get this breakout very soon here. So keep that in mind for the final bit of information I wanted to give, so you don't get confused on potential upside or downside there. And just finishing up reading comments here. We have Way saying, my first time here too, only stumbled upon this channel about 10 minutes ago. That's amazing. Unfortunately, you did not get to see the whole stream, but that's okay, because I will be doing many more of these. And right now live, we're seeing this candle continue to remain strong for Bitcoin. So, you know, we'll see how this plays out. We're really at this last little bit where we're either going to get the breakout or flip back down lower. We can see the support levels there. So pay attention to the next few candles. That's going to be key here in terms of what's going to happen. Also pay attention to any move below 21,500, right? That could quickly push us back lower, down to even below $20,000. Sorry, not necessarily below 20,000, but definitely at least below 21,000, down to 20,700 or so. So thank you so much for being a first-time viewer away on the stream, and thank you for following me and subscribing on Twitter. Hopefully everyone else did that as well. We also have another follower here, M. Umar, saying he's also a new follower. Love to hear more, and thanking me for the stream. That's amazing. Thank you for subscribing as well, Umar. That's absolutely amazing. I'm going to finish off with the one last comment from Believer777 as we're seeing the price remaining strong. This candle actually growing and becoming greener as we move forward. This could be the one that might start really pushing us towards the breakout. He says that on the 1 minute time frame, we have a rising wedge pattern that could lead to a breakout in about an hour or so. And in fact, if we look at the 1 minute chart time frame, look at how many higher highs we're putting in, guys. This is a big deal, right? We're on a full-blown, very, you know, kind of almost hidden uptrend here on this 1 hour time frame. But indeed, right, we're really starting to see the strength come in. Not guaranteed just yet, but it is looking good for a breakout. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate spending my time here on the stream with all of you today, and I will see you shortly. I'll be adding animations, amazing quality to the stream, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, comment, and thank you so much for watching. We're going to end the stream with me commenting a little thank you in the chat with all of you. So thank you so much for your viewership. And, you know, I just really appreciate how much you have all been watching these streams. But really, it's been amazing to be here with you. So thanks for the support, everybody. Amazing time. And I will all be seeing you very soon. Till the next one. Have a great day, folks.